Okay, guys, we should be live here. Everything should be working now. I do apologize. I had some major issues just then, technical issues. I'm using a whole, I'm using a whole, like a brand new kind of setup here. So I've been figuring out a lot of different kinks here. Okay, let me go over to my options here. Yeah, I've basically kind of remade the stream, so there's going to be a lot of things to work out here. So I do apologize on that aspect, guys. Okay, I just need to change some settings here. Then we'll get going. We'll be just a minute, so just bear with me for just a minute, and we should be okay to go then. Yeah, so you guys can see, can you guys see like the whole new setup here? So I've changed everything. I've got this brand new kind of, I've got this brand new system here, and it's just going to take me a minute to figure this all out. Okay, I want to go to there. Hey there, Maverick. Hope you're doing okay. I was just saying to the guys, I'm sorry that my stream's a little bit messy at the moment because I'm just trying to figure some things out. The thing is, some of the settings you can't figure out until you actually go live and you start recording. Then there's certain settings that you can't change beforehand, which is kind of really annoying. So, but yeah, you guys can see your chat this way. You can see your chat over here on the right-hand side now. And in the middle, we've got this kind of notice board as well. So for anybody who's kind enough to, anyone who's kind enough to donate or do the super chats or anything like that, you'll have your name on the little notice board here as well, so everyone can see, which is kind of cool. So, we go to my account here. Hey there, Rumble. Nice to see you, Erica, Varelian, Maverick Star, all the regulars. It's great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. So we do have some really fun video news topics we're going to be getting into. But like I normally say, we'll just wait a few minutes for everybody to kind of join in. I just need to kind of work out some of the kinks here as well. I hope the sound and everything is all good for you guys. Just move that a little bit. Oh, just move that a little bit. And I hope everything's I hope everything looks okay, I should say. Okay. So where are we? We want to go on there. Video unavailable. It's such a fun time being a live streamer. Ooh, ooh. There's me trying to sing there. But yeah, I mean, complicated as hell, man. There's so many settings and it's so complex. So I basically purchased this kind of overlay that you're seeing at the moment, this kind of wizard overlay. I purchased it last night, downloaded it, and it, you know, there's so many settings and things to get right to try and implement it, and I've been messing around with it for so long. So, where are we? Attica Kier, I think, is new here. I don't remember seeing you before. It's nice to see you. I'm going to call you Ada. I'm not exactly sure how to say your name. Will the first teaser be released in May when filming wraps or later? That's a good question. I do think we will get a teaser towards the second end of the year. I definitely do think a teaser will drop this year. But, you know, what kind of teaser is it going to be? Is it going to be like a full-length kind of like 2-minute teaser? Is it going to be a 30-second thing? Is it going to be some character posters? I mean, we don't really know. But, yeah. Yeah, Ada seems to be a new person here. I haven't seen them before, so, you know, very welcome to the stream. It's great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, you spelled correct. What happened on the live last night? So last night we had such a fun time on the live last night. We were playing Hogwarts Legacy and I was doing a mission and the mission was full of spiders. And we had this great conversation about spiders. And we were talking about one of our members here, like holding a spider and that they're crazy. And yeah, a lot of spider trauma on the channel, but it was actually a really fun conversation. It was really great. I've actually recorded, I've recorded that conversation and that gameplay with the spiders. I'm going to upload it to the channel tomorrow. So for people who weren't in the live, they can actually rewatch it because I think it's funny as hell. So I'll upload that kind of clip of our spider kind of game session last night because I think a lot of you guys will find it very, very interesting. So, let's go over to here quickly. So, check out the transitions we have here as well, guys. It's all good, Kimmy. There's going to be plenty more fun on the channel. Don't worry about it. Plenty more spider trauma to go around. I'm pretty sure we will see it at some point. So don't you worry too much about that. It feels Maverick Star says it feels unreal that we will be seeing Harry Potter again under a year. The first year feeling gets me excited every time. The first time in under a year. Well, that's not strictly true. I mean, it's set to debut in 2027, but we don't know exactly when. It could be in the summer of 2027. If that's the case, then it's over a year. It could be pushed back to 2028. We really just don't know at the moment, so we're going to have to be kind of patient with that. But guys, what we're going to do, we're going to move into our first video news segment, and we've got a really exciting kind of news story here, talking about 5 plot points or 5 things that don't make sense when it comes to the Hogwarts school. So let's dive into that video. I think you guys will find it very, very interesting. We'll be talking about this. Harry Potter. 5 things that still make no sense about Hogwarts. So as much as I love Harry Potter and I do love the Wizarding World universe, we have to admit, when you think about the basic logic of most fantasy type worlds or universes, there are kind of major plot holes when you really think about it. But obviously with these types of universes, we do have to, you know, suspend our disbelief somewhat in order for it to work. But anyway, regardless of that, let's dive into these kind of logic holes and let's see what this article has to say here. So number 5, there's simply not enough teachers. Okay, based on the books and movies, Hogwarts supposedly had roughly 10 to 14 teachers covering the magical curriculum. McGonagall, Snape, Flitwick, Sprout, and a few rotating Defense Against the Dark Arts instructors. Specialists like Hagrid and Trelawney, and book-only faculty like Professor Binns. Meanwhile, Rowling has allegedly stated there are over 1,000 students at Hogwarts. Even if that number is flexible, things don't quite add up. If each year has around 140 students, that's roughly 35 students per house per year, yet most classes combine houses, meaning upwards of 70 students in a single class, which is absolutely ginormous. Alternatively, this could mean one teacher is responsible for teaching the same lesson repeatedly across multiple year groups, grading hundreds of assignments, supervising detentions, and often doubling as head of the house. Snape alone teaches every single potions class for years 1 through 7, Either Hogwarts employs invisible adjunct professors, or these teachers are using time turners. I mean, wouldn't that be a wild notion if every single professor was using a time turner to go back and teach different lessons to different classes? But yeah, I mean, that's just one of the small kind of plot holes. Not really a plot hole, but when you think about it, the inconsistencies within the Wizarding World, there's so many students and not enough professors. So that's kind of interesting. But like I say, when you think about it, there are these kind of, you know, minor, well, not minor, they're kind of major inconsistencies. But you just have to suspend your disbelief somewhat. Anyway, let's move on to number 4, the lack of any core education classes. This is something that me and a few of my friends have talked about on so many occasions. So, going to Hogwarts would be incredible, right? You get a magical education, you learn everything you need to know about magic, right? That's fantastic. But where is the core curriculum education? What about English? What about science? What about mathematics? What about literacy? You know, all these kind of basic skills that you need for everyday life. You know, they're just not there. I mean, you know, the kids aren't learning any of this stuff, and it would be shocking. In the UK, there's so many different laws around kids being in school, needing to learn certain curriculum, taking tests, and you can't take certain days away from school, all this kind of stuff. So the fact that they're not learning a core education here is kind of crazy. Okay, unless they are, but it's just not mentioned. That could be, I guess that could be a thing. So Hogwarts students apparently receive no formal education in mathematics, literature, non-magic history, or even basic writing skills, which is kind of shocking when you think about it when it comes to kids. Aside from essays assigned in magical subjects, there's no evidence that students are even learning spelling, grammar, or reading comprehension from age 11 onwards, which raises the question on how these kids function at all, even in the wizarding world. Before the age of 11, wizarding children seem to either attend Muggle primary schools or receive no schooling at all. Yet if magical children do attend a few years of Muggle school, why are so many pureblood wizards completely clueless about basic Muggle concepts? And if they don't attend any school prior to Hogwarts, it means they have no traditional education whatsoever and are expected to show up day one with basic skills. That's the thing. So if you turned up to Hogwarts at age 11 and you had no formal education, they wouldn't know how to read, they wouldn't know how to write, they'd have no mathematical skills, they wouldn't know anything. And they don't get taught any of that at Hogwarts, as far as we know. So, you know, they would go through life not knowing how to add up, not knowing grammar, not knowing punctuation, not knowing how to read, like all of these basic skills you learn as a kid. So it's kind of shocking when you really do think about it. And no continuation of education. They don't seem to use magic to write their essays or count their galleons. So how do they learn these skills in the first place? And how do they function after graduation? Exactly. What if you wanted to go back into the Muggle world after you've done your education, you know, at Hogwarts? What if you wanted to go back into the Muggle world? What if you wanted to be a scientist, an engineer, something that requires, you know, basic mathematical skills, which is a lot of jobs these days, you know, computing, whatever it may be, you just wouldn't have any of those formal education, and it would, you know, kind of screw you up, basically. Okay, number 3. The state of Hogwarts security is abysmal. I mean, this is something that is talked about all over the internet. You know, this is supposed to be a child-friendly environment, yet there's dangers around every single corner, and there's no way that Hogwarts would pass health and safety in real life. There's just no way. Okay, so Hogwarts is constantly described as the supposed safest place in the wizarding world, said to be protected by ancient enchantments and Dumbledore himself, but in reality, though the school faces a constant barrage of breaches. In the Sorcerer's Stone, 3 first years get past multiple magical defenses guarding the Philosopher's Stone in order to defeat the Dark Lord who snuck in the back of some guy's head. In Chamber of Secrets, a deadly basilisk roams the school for months, and the teachers are clueless. In Prisoner of Azkaban, Sirius Black gets in repeatedly, despite increased Dementor security staff. In Goblet of Fire, a Death Eater impersonates a teacher for a whole year with a rudimentary polyjuice potion. Again, that is very, very shocking that not one professor or not one person realized. You know, they need to have some sort of detection so they know that when someone's using polyjuice potion. Okay, cursed objects and hostile creatures regularly find their way onto the Hogwarts campus, and it's difficult to believe that the professors are able to protect it when they aren't even sure if something like the Chamber of Secrets actually exists. Our young protagonist, often seen wandering off-limit areas with minimal supervision. Clearly, Hogwarts certainly isn't the impenetrable fortress of safety it's made out to be, which leads us into our next point. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen, but when they have health and safety inspectors come into schools here in the UK, they're literally searching every crevice, every corner of the school. And if there's something that's like remotely unsafe to students, then they literally shut down the whole school and they'll rectify the issue before they reopen the school. So the fact that, you know, all of these crazy things happen at Hogwarts, you know, and kids are still allowed to go there, it's just absolutely insane beyond belief. It really, really is. Okay, so with let's move on to number 2, which kind of feeds off of the last point we were talking about. There are constant liability issues. Okay, so Hogwarts employs one nurse, Madame Pomfrey, to care for hundreds of students in an environment riddled with exploding potions, murderous trees, aggressive magical creatures, moving staircases, and clearly dangerous sport of Quidditch. Poor Seamus Finnegan repeatedly blows himself up in class, and the reality of a large student body experimenting with magic is that the hospital wing would be constantly at full capacity, even considering magical cures. Yeah, I mean, that is absolutely true. You think, right, you have over 1,000 students, they're attending potion classes, they're experimenting with magic for the very first time. You think how dangerous it is at a normal school on a daily basis. There's always kids, you know, having fights or falling over in the playground, you know, bruising their knees, cutting themselves, doing all kinds of things, just having accidents. And that's at a normal school. Now, consider you're putting those same students into a magical school, they're using magic for the first time, and they're only sort of 11, 12, 13 years old, and they're using magic. You know, exploding potions, levitating heavy objects with wands and spells. Think of the amount of things that could go wrong, and like it says here, the hospital wing would be constantly full of students who have injured themselves or others by accidentally misusing magic. It would just be absolute carnage when you actually give it 10 seconds worth of thought. It would just be carnage beyond belief. It really, really would. Okay, let's keep going though. So perhaps the most baffling example of a liability issue is the detention in the Sorcerer's Stone, where Harry, Hermione, Draco, and Neville are sent into the Forbidden Forest with Hagrid to track down a creature killing unicorns. This is presented as a standard disciplinary action, even though it's emphasized earlier in the story just how dangerous and forbidden the forest is. The same forest is later confirmed to contain giant spiders, werewolves, unfriendly centaurs, and Voldemort himself. Unsurprisingly, many of the school's potential liability lawsuits seem to involve Hagrid. Yeah, so like, literally, the most dangerous place in the Wizarding World, or one of the most dangerous places, a place that involves spiders, Voldemort, centaurs, all of this craziness that happens. I know what. If students misbehave, let's give them detention and let's send them into the most dangerous place we can think of. Like, it's so ridiculous. It's really, really crazy. Okay, number one, the trace makes no sense. So, the trace has more to do with monitoring underage magic outside of Hogwarts than Hogwarts itself, but the inconsistencies are so egregious that we had to include it. When Harry accidentally inflates Aunt Marge in The Prisoner of Azkaban, the Ministry detects it immediately. They know exactly what happened, where it happened, and who did it. But in the Chamber of Secrets, when Dobby uses a hover charm in Harry's house, the Ministry somehow blames Harry for the magic of a house elf who cast it. That's not even mentioning all the magic the trace misses completely. How was it that Hermione was able to practice magic at home before her first year? How come Harry can use the Lumos charm to read under his blankets at the Dursleys? How are Fred and George able to spend years developing magical joke products without any charms or magic or potion magic, sorry? How did Tom Riddle, Avada Kedavra, his muggle father and grandparents, without the Ministry connecting it to him? A convenient but inconsistent plot device, the trace remains a contentious idea among fans today in discussions of Hogwarts and beyond. Yeah, it's one of those plot points that's convenient when they need it to push the narrative further, but when we don't need it, we're just going to ignore it and pretend that it's not there. But you know, it's just one of those MacGuffins. It's what they call a MacGuffin. So it's something that if you took it out of the movie universe and put it into the real world, it would absolutely have no sense. There would be so many inconsistencies, it just wouldn't work. There's no logic. But when it's in a movie, the MacGuffin uses itself to push the narrative forward. Even though when you think about it for more than 5 seconds, the inconsistencies are crazy. So that's kind of 5 massive kind of plot points that are kind of really inconsistent and just don't work within Hogwarts and the Wizarding World. But that's not to say that detracts from, you know, the Harry Potter books and the films. I still love them so much. It's the same with pretty much any fantasy world or universe when you think about it. When you think about Lord of the Rings, when you think about Narnia, when you think about the Wheel of Time, there's every single fantasy universe, when you sit and think about it for more than 5 minutes, there's plot points and inconsistencies across most fantasy worlds. It's not just Harry Potter. But you do have to suspend your disbelief, and you just have to enjoy it for what it is. You know, enjoy the characters, enjoy the story, even though when you give it a lot of thought, it may not make a lot of sense. But still, it's still enjoyable on the surface, and we still love it. So even though we've been talking about this, I still love it as much as the next person. But guys, either in the live chat or in the comments, let me know what you think about these 5 things that make no sense about the Wizarding World and Hogwarts. What do you think about them? What stands out to you? And do you have any other plot points or inconsistencies you want to mention? Jump down and leave those in the comments section. So with that down, guys, I hope you found that interesting. I could see there in the live chat, you weren't all necessarily agreeing with some of those points, which is fair enough. I mean, that's what it's all about. Being part of the fandom, having a discussion. Some people agree, some people don't agree. And that's kind of where we are. But there's so many nuances around these type of inconsistencies, plot holes, the logic in these different fantasy worlds. I mean, again, do we actually dive into it and take a look at it and kind of try to study it from our real world perspective? Or do we just kind of, you know, try to suspend our disbelief and kind of try to look around the plot holes and inconsistencies, so to speak, just to enjoy the content and just to have fun with it? I think that's probably the best way to go. But again, I love what you guys have been saying. Flamingo says, the health inspector now, what the F is this, mate? Dumbledore says, oh, just a normal day at Hogwarts, nothing to be concerned about. Yeah, I mean, wow. I mean, yeah, you could go into that all day long about health and safety when it comes to Hogwarts, man. It wouldn't be good, put it that way. Okay, let's move over to let's have a little play on Hogwarts Legacy here. And we'll just have a bit of a chat and a bit of a hangout until we go on to our next video segment. So our next video segment is going to be about a live orchestra playing music to the Harry Potter films, and where you can buy a ticket, how you can buy a ticket, how much they cost. It's going to be very, very interesting for us to dive into. And I just realized I don't have the volume on for the game here. That's better. Yeah, so how is everyone anyway? How's everyone's day going? How's everyone's week going so far? Let us know your thoughts, and would love to hear more from you guys. How do you guys like the new kind of layout of the channel here as well? What do you think about it? Just give me a broom, Hogwarts, and a wand. Yeah, Erica, that's a good way to go. Absolutely. But yeah, guys, if you have any feedback on the new layout of the live stream here, let me know what you think about it. Is there any improvements? You know, do you like it? Do you not like it? I would love to know what you guys think. Obviously, I made it for you guys, so I would love to know, get your feedback so I can just improve. But I want to try and make this stream as professional, as good, as fun, as entertaining as I possibly can for you guys. So just trying to do my best here to make it look a bit more magical, so to speak. So, Rusty says, looks fancy. Kimmy says, new layout looks great. Flamingos, don't worry, everything's okay. Health inspector, there's a dead kid in the hall. Dumbledore. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, just fun times, fun times. So, yeah, I was looking around on the internet a couple of days ago because I wanted to find a new overlay or a new kind of layout for the stream. And basically, I came across this one here that we're using at the moment. And as soon as I saw it, my eyes lit up. And I was like, the guys are going to love that. It's going to make everything look so much more nicer. And I had to purchase it basically straight away. It looks fine. That doesn't sound too encouraging, Erica. It looks fine. It looks fine. Not the best, not the worst. It's just kind of fine. That's okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. So I'm just going to chill out around here. Just going to chill out around here for a bit, guys. Like I say, while we just have a chat. No, it's okay. I'm not forcing you to say it looks good, Erica. That's okay. If you think it looks fine, that's okay. That's not a problem. I was only joking. So yeah, we'll just have a bit of a walk around. Just kind of enjoy the view here. And we'll chat amongst ourselves. And then, like I say, we'll get into our second video segment. About a live orchestra playing Harry Potter music. I've always wanted to go to a live orchestra, you know, where they play music and they have the film scenes behind. Has anyone ever been to any of those? They do them for, like, Lord of the Rings as well. They do them for, like, Lord of the Rings and kind of, like, fantasy movies, like Steven Spielberg movies. Well, they'll play a scene from a movie. They'll play a scene from a movie and they have a live orchestra. Has anyone ever been to one of those? I would love to hear if anyone has. Rumble says, problem is they usually don't leave primary school when you're 11, and after they still just stop and they don't learn how to do their taxes or biology. I gotta find the entrance to the mine, apparently. What a beautiful sight. Look at that, guys. Snowy Hogwarts. What's a better sight than that? Okay, let's jump on our broom. Flamingo's just said, I won't be surprised if Dumbledore had to bribe the health inspector. That's kind of funny. No, it's honestly, Erica, honestly, it's okay. I didn't take any offense to you saying it is fine. Like, honestly, I was joking. Like, it's okay. I appreciate the kind words, so it's okay. I really do appreciate that. Flamingo bribed with a sherbet lemon. Sherbet lemons, man. Don't underestimate a sherbet lemon. They are so damn good. The last time I bought a pack, I almost ate the entire the entire bag in one go. They are so good. They're like little lemon like sweets, and then they're just like full of sugar in the middle. They're so good. Okay, let's grab our trusty broom. Let's make our way down here. Going across the Black Lake here. Yeah, for those of you in the chat who have never had sherbet lemons, man, you're missing out. You're missing out. It's one of life's good treats, I tell you. They're great for travel sweets as well. If you ever go traveling and you want some sweets to eat on the plane or something, sherbet lemons is the way to go. Like, really good. Okay, where exactly do I need to go here? Because I've got quite a long way to go. Oh, wow, I've got to go all the way down there. Lodgok's loyalty. Lodgok is attempting to infiltrate the coastal mine alone. I need to find him. Okay. Let's teleport down to here. Dumbledore not only has style, he has taste when it comes to sweets. Apparently so, yeah. Apparently he does. Fair play to him.
Wonder if I'm safe to explore in there.
Rusty says, for the layout, it's nice and neat, easy to see everything and read the chat. My only complaint is that the social media links are not perfectly centered. Yeah, that is true. That is true. I'll give you that. I do need to center them a bit more. I'll definitely get onto that. I'll definitely improve that. I'll improve that just for you, Rusty, in the next stream. They'll be perfectly centered. And I'm absolutely agree with you. Like, I'm one of those people as well who, you know, when you look at something that's not centered properly, it kind of makes you feel anxious. I completely understand. But I was rushing around today to try and, like, I had to edit so much stuff to get this stream together. And I was in a bit of a rush. But I will make sure that's centered for you, no problem.
Who lived here, I wonder?
Oh, look at this beautiful autumn weather we have here. Beautiful colours on the leaves and the trees. I really love the floating candles at the top. I think the floating candles is a nice touch. I really like that. Erica says, tried the Bertie bot. Holy crap! There's a dragon! There's a dragon! Can I fight the dragon? It's probably not a good idea. Erica says, I tried Bertie Bot's beans and never again. Some of them are really bad. I saw this around Christmas time, right? In my local shop up the street. They do this thing every year. It's called the Russian roulette beans game. So basically you spin this turntable and it has jelly beans, and like one of them is a really nice lemon flavor and the rest of them are like really awful flavor, like sick flavor, horse dung flavor, insect flavor, and you have to spin it and hope you get the right tasty one. It's called beans roulette or something. Like, it's really crazy. But it's so much fun to play with your friends, because you never know which one you're going to get.
Why should Hogwarts be any different?
Okay, let's just take out these guys. We're moving to our second video segment in just a second, guys. Oh, there's another person there.
Hello? Someone there?
Surprise, punk!
So close.
Come on, bring it on. Let's go.
Let's play predator and prey, shall we?
What the hell is this person doing?
Confringo.
I just hit... He turned into a wolf and I just smashed him off the side of the cliff. That was great. That was really great. Oh, he's fell down there. I thought he fell off the cliff.
Confringo. Potato.
Come on.
Whoa.
Oh, crap. That wasn't good.
Incendio. Confringo. You'll regret that. You're not going to like this.
How the wolf is stuck down there. That's quite funny. Wait, where did it go? I literally can't see where it is. Oh, well. I'm just going to leave him there. Alright, guys. So, Chocolate Frog is... Love the floating candles. Nice touch of magic. Yes, I've seen the bean roulette thing. It's fun. Yeah, absolutely. The bean thing is really, really fun. And, yeah, the floating candles are really nice. I really like the floating candles. So, guys, let's move on to our second video news topic of tonight's stream. I hope you guys will like this. Like I said, it's about a live orchestra playing Harry Potter music. So let's jump into that next news topic. Here we go, guys. Kind of cool. I love this. I've always wanted to go and see like the music of a movie being performed live. I think it would be so fun to do this. They do it on a yearly basis up in Edinburgh at the Edinburgh Castle, and I've always wanted to go and I need to get down to it. But this one's slightly different. So this comes to us from the greenvillejournal.com. Greenville Symphony returns to Harry Potter for the 4th year. So we've got Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban in concert. And for those of you who may not know what this kind of thing is, basically what they do is they have a live orchestra on stage, like this kind of image is showing here. So they have all the different instruments playing the live music. Then what they do is they'll play a scene from one of the Harry Potter films or whatever movie it may be. They'll play the scene without the actual music on the scene, but then they'll play the orchestra music like live to the scene while it's playing on the screen behind. It's so cool. And some of these are so well done and so beautiful to listen to. And I've always wanted to go to one of these. Okay, so let's dive into this information and let's find out how you can attend, how much a ticket price costs, and other details and information you need to know about this event. So the Greenville Symphony Orchestra, that's a bit of a mouthful actually, continues its popular film series with Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, January the 10th to the 11th, so it takes place in 4 days time. So if you do want to get a ticket, you better get one quickly, guys. At the Peace Centre, the orchestra will perform the film score live while the entire 2005 film plays in high definition on a 40-foot screen. So they're not just doing it scene by scene, they're playing the entire movie while doing the live orchestra music at the same time. That's incredible. You get to watch the entire film with a live orchestra playing all the music. That would be an insanely fun experience, man. I would love to attend that. So on a 40-foot screen, the orchestra has spotlighted the Harry Potter films in chronological order every year since the beginning in 2023 with the first film. At the Peace Centre performances, fans often dress up like characters from the films. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people there dressed up as different characters and in their Hogwarts robes, which are based on the hugely popular novels of the British writer J.K. Rowling. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, directed by Mike Newell, follows Harry's unexpected selection as a 4th champion in the dangerous Tri-Wizard Tournament. Goblet of Fire is also my most favourite film in the franchise. Despite being underage and not entering his name, as Hogwarts hosts students from other wizarding schools such as Beauxbatons and Durmstrang, rivalries, friendships, and romantic tensions intensify. So let's just go down to this part here. So, dramatic score. Doyle's music is considered darker and more dramatic than Williams' score, with more rhythmic drive and heavier emphasis on brass and percussion, especially for the Tri-Wizard tournament. Listening to that live, like a more kind of heavier emphasis on brass and percussion, that would really kind of elevate the scenes in the movie, like hearing that music live rather than through a set of speakers. Doyle's more ominous and dramatic music reflects the increasing darkness of the fourth Harry Potter film and the growing maturity of the characters. The score retains some of Williams' lyrical score, however, including the sparkling Hedwig's theme, which became the sonic emblem of Harry Potter. And again, are they going to use that score in the upcoming HBO series? That's a big question that I've had for such a long time. Film concerts, live performances of music with film have become a prominent feature on the schedule of almost every large and medium-sized orchestra in the United States. They're a relatively recent orchestral innovation. 20 years ago, few orchestras offered film concerts. Film concerts often bring in new audiences to the concert hall. The Harry Potter film concert series has been seen by more than 3 million fans worldwide since 2016. The Greenville Symphony performances are scheduled January 10th at 1 and 7 p.m. and January 11th at 2 p.m. So, if you want to go, the what? Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire in concert. When? January the 10th to the 11th. Where? Pierce Concert Hall, 300 Main Street in Greenville. The tickets are $42 to $103, obviously depending on where you choose to sit. Obviously, the closer to the front you are, the more expensive the tickets are probably going to be. So that's kind of where we are, guys. And we have the link there, peacecenter.org. So if you are interested and you want to quickly grab a ticket, I don't know if it's sold out. I really have no idea. Actually, while we're here, let's just check it out. So Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire in concert. Let's just check out if there's any tickets here. So event details, showings. So let's just check out January the 10th at 1 p.m. Let's buy some tickets. I'm not actually going to buy the tickets, but let's just see how many are left. I'm very curious to see this. So purchase best available seating. So they've got front orchestra, boxes. Oh, how much is a box? 100 and... So yeah, they do have seats available, guys. So if you are interested, you better quickly move on to this, guys, because, you know, it's going to be sold out pretty quickly. So January the 10th to the 11th, $42 to $103, depending on, you know, how expensive you want the ticket to be. But move on it pretty quickly, and peacecenter.org if you want to pick up the tickets. And just as a note, I'm not selling these tickets. I make no commission. I'm talking about this purely from a fan perspective because I think it's pretty damn awesome. And again, I don't work for the company. I'm not trying to sell you anything here, guys. I'm just purely reporting on it from a fan perspective. But I thought that was pretty cool. Something I've always wanted to attend. And like I say, they do one here up in Edinburgh. Not here, but up in Scotland in the UK. Up in Edinburgh on a yearly basis. And I really need to go. And it's something that's definitely on my radar. So guys, what do you think of this? A live Harry Potter orchestra showing the entire film on a 40-foot screen behind them while they play the live orchestral music. Is it something you'd be interested in attending? Is it something you've ever thought about doing? Or is it something that's just not really for you? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the live chat or the comments below. Would love to hear what you guys have to say about this. So guys, what did you think of that? Is that something that you guys would want to attend? Go to a live orchestra? The Harry Potter movie playing, the full movie playing, and then you have this beautiful live orchestra at the front, playing all the instruments, playing the music live. It would be so incredible. I've never been to anything even remotely like an orchestra, but I can absolutely see how that would get people into classical music. Someone like me, who's not into classical music, but someone who loves Harry Potter, that's definitely something that would make me want to go and hear an orchestra. Having one of my favorite movies play while they're playing the music, that's a great entry point, you know, to bring people into your theater, to bring people to your orchestra who wouldn't usually go. So it's a great marketing tactic, and it's going to make them a lot of money, and it's going to, you know, make more Harry Potter fans as well. So I think it's fantastic. Like I said in the video, guys, if you're interested, every year they do one at Edinburgh Castle. And I used to live next to Edinburgh Castle, and it's the most stunning environment. But they set up a small stadium out the front of Edinburgh Castle. And they basically have an orchestra with the Harry Potter movies playing out the front of the Edinburgh Castle. And they put, like, you know, flame torches out the front of the castle. And it's the most surreal experience. I've never been myself, but it would just be incredible. Erica says, maybe check it out if I go and visit London for the studio tour. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? I'm looking at going to the studio tour within the next 2 weeks. I really am. I'm going to get a unlimited data SIM card. I'm going to stream the whole thing for you guys. I don't think they have any restrictions on live streaming from the studio tour. Me and somebody else, one of our channel members, was talking about it on Discord the other day. That at the London studio tour, I don't believe, we looked around on the internet and we couldn't find anywhere where it says that you're restricted from live streaming inside the studio tour. So I may do the entire tour and then try to live stream it, like I've said before. But I'm not sure if I'd be allowed to, so I'd have to sort of get there and then sort of see if I'm allowed to do that. I think you would be allowed to, as long as you don't restrict other people's kind of movement, as long as you don't distract from other people's experience, then I think live streaming inside the studio tour is probably something that you are allowed to do. I'm sure a lot of people have done it before. Rumble Believer says, I think I wrote about Harry Potter in concert in another Wizard Rest video. I was dressed as Trelawney with 14 dresses over each other. I took up quite more space than normal, especially in the rows. That sounds pretty fun. Erica says, need to combo as I live in Sweden. If I'm going to England, do several things at the same time. If you come to England, start off on the south coast, and then basically you can find a map of all the Harry Potter filming locations, and kind of like a pinball, you can hit all the different Harry Potter filming locations on your way up to Scotland, like make a road trip out of it. If you have a driver's license, that would be amazing. That would be a great experience. It really would. Okay, so let's go back onto Hogwarts Legacy for 5 minutes. Then we'll get into our third and final topic of tonight's stream, which I think you guys will find interesting. So we're going to be talking about basically the weakness in the Harry Potter HBO marketing campaign at the moment. So they're touting the upcoming series as a faithful adaptation of the books, but is that ultimately going to be their downfall if they can't keep the series to an accurate version of the books? Are they going to hype it up too much? Are people going to be disappointed when it's not a one-for-one accurate representation of the books? It's going to be interesting to see, because people are going to go through every single episode with a fine-tooth comb, and they're going to nitpick it and see how closely it represents to the books. So, like I say, it's going to be very, very interesting indeed.
Lumos.
Okay, let's make our way down here. I see a couple of bad guys down here. I'm not exactly sure where they are. They seem to be down there somewhere. Okay, let's grab our broom, and let's just ambush them.
Show. Oh, I'm gonna win. Levioso! Fringo! No! Levioso! Incendio! Levioso! Levioso! Levioso!
What? Ancient magic? Turned him into a chicken. I love it so much. Nitpicking. Boy, you're like the Batman of the Wizarding World. Batman of the Wizarding World. What, like being above and then just like swooping down and ambushing people like Batman? Rusty says, nitpicking will always be an issue. Nothing will be perfect. I mean, Rusty, think about this as well, right? We live in this day and age of social media, right? There's entire channels, there's entire ecosystems within social media that are set up just to knock down TV shows and movies. Like, people spend their entire channel and their entire lives just, you know, breaking apart every type of content. You know, it's easy to get clicks, it's easy to get likes and shares and stuff. When you're really ripping stuff apart, people find it entertaining. They do, like negative content. And, you know, it's easy to get engagement from negative content. So, regardless of how good this Harry Potter series is going to be, there's going to be people and channels that are just going to tear it down, even if it was the most perfect thing ever made. There's still going to be people that are going to nitpick, they're going to tear it apart, because all they do is negative content, because they know it gets clicks, they know it gets shares and engagement. And like I say, entire internet ecosystems are just built around that kind of thing. Okay.
Lumos.
Okay, let's just make our way down here. This is creepy. Okay, there's some bad guys up here, but we'll keep going this way. Beautiful lake. Look at this. I would so just walk around here at nighttime in real life. How cozy would this be at night? Nice and quiet, nice and peaceful, on the edge of the river or the lake here. Just beautiful. Half of the people are just nostalgia critics. Yeah, I'm exactly the same, Erica. I'm going to leave all my preconceived notions at the door. Yeah, Kimmy, I'm not actually following the yellow dots. I know I'm not following the yellow dots. I'm just kind of walking around for the moment. So yeah, people will tear down this show. Absolutely they will. And they'll do their best to get clicks and engagement from it. But I'm going to try and leave my notions at the door. I'm going to go in with an open mind. If there's things in the show that I do not like, I will not hesitate. Even though I'm a positive guy, and this channel is positivity because I love the Harry Potter franchise. But don't mistake it, my positivity, guys. If there's something in an episode or the TV show of Harry Potter, the series, that I do not like, I will tell you guys. I'll say, I don't like this character. I don't like this casting. That storyline didn't work. That's not an accurate representation of the book. I'm going to be completely honest. But I'm not just going to say it just to dog, you know, just to dog on the show and try to be cool and just tear it down for the sake of it. I'm going to give honest feedback. If I don't like something, then I will tell you guys. And I'll tell you the reasons why. You may agree with me, you may not agree with me, but that doesn't matter. We're fans and we can disagree with each other. And that's the way it kind of works. Okay, yeah, exactly. Erica, I'm exactly the same. You couldn't have said it better. Couldn't have said it better myself. I do not agree with every single casting, but I love Harry Potter so much to miss it. The overall picture they seem to have done, yeah, the casting seems fantastic. Absolutely amazing. Species is fake. By the way, space is fake, sorry. Space is fake. It's nice to see you again. I can't remember the last time I saw you, Space is fake, so it's great to have you back here. I do remember seeing you a while ago. Thing is, I am most worried about is if they frame Harry Potter growing up as really dark and traumatic when it was written as a kid's book, and yes, it would be, but it's not in real life, it's a story. Criticism is different from just ripping apart every bit of detail for clicks. Yeah, absolutely it is, Rusty, and a lot of the time when you're watching YouTube channels, you can tell someone's not trying to give you constructive criticism, they're just trying to rip stuff apart because, again, it gets engagement and clicks. And I don't find those kind of, personally, I don't find those kind of videos compelling to watch because I know the person's not giving me that honest feedback. Even if I don't agree with that honest feedback, if they're not giving me honest feedback and I feel like, you know, they're just kind of ripping it apart just for the sake of it, then I don't find it compelling to watch a YouTube video about that. But like I say, everybody's different. Everybody watches different content creators for different reasons. Some people want to be in an echo chamber. Some people just watch content creators who agree with all their opinions because they want to be in an echo chamber and it makes them feel good to have their content creator that they watch, you know, reinforce their opinions. It makes people feel good. So I get that. But sometimes I think the most fun content to watch is content that's giving you constructive criticism but doesn't agree with you because it makes your point of view sharper when you're looking at a point of view that's different from yours, but it's constructive. It makes your point of view sharper and it reinforces your point, and it allows you to think more critically as well. That's just some of my kind of feedback there anyway, guys. Okay, guys, what we're going to do, we're going to jump into our third topic because it's now 49 minutes into the stream. So we'll jump into our third topic. Then we'll come back for a bit more of a chat before we finish off the stream. So I think that's a good way to go. Okay, so let's jump in. Okay, we're going to jump into our third news. Constructive critique is good. It makes us grow. Absolutely. When you have a conversation with someone who disagrees with you, it sharpens your own point of view. Okay, guys, let's jump into this and let's see what you guys make of this story here. Talk about this. This comes to us from ScreenRant.com. The Harry Potter TV show already confirms its biggest weakness. So yeah, this is basically talking about their advertising campaign. When it comes to the new HBO series, they're going all in on it being a faithful adaptation to the books. But that could end up being basically their biggest weakness with the series, because if they oversell the hype of this being a faithful adaptation of the books, fans are going to go through each episode with a fine-tooth comb, and they're going to look and analyze and compare each episode to the book to see if it matches up. And if there's any inconsistencies, if there's any subplots or characters that aren't done correctly or that are missed out or skipped across, you know, fans are going to be very, very unhappy. So it could be to their detriment that they're really overselling the fact that it's a faithful, 100% faithful adaptation here. But let's dive in and let's see what this has to say. So what HBO has advertised as the Harry Potter TV remake strength may be actually its greatest weakness. There's no doubt that the upcoming project has potential. Absolutely. It's going to be the biggest show in the world. Absolutely. Harry Potter is among the most iconic fantasy franchises of all time, so HBO is guaranteed fair viewership. HBO or Netflix. If that deal goes through, remember it's going to probably end up on Netflix. Unless HBO is kept intact, they may keep the Harry Potter series on HBO, and keep the HBO streaming service intact. So it's yet to be seen whether they would use the Harry Potter series on Netflix or whether they will keep it on HBO. That's still up in the air, so we're going to have to wait for the Warner Brothers Netflix merger to go through. Make sure after a year, because it's going to take a year for the government to finalize the deal, and then once it's finalized, we may get an update as to where the Harry Potter show is going to land. Because like I say, we don't know if it's going to remain on HBO or if Netflix are going to put it obviously on the Netflix streaming service. So we'll have to wait and see how that does turn out. So still, it also can't be denied that this new series will be under significant scrutiny. Absolutely. Fans will, like I say, they will be looking at it with a magnifying glass and checking out every aspect and comparing it to the books. So remakes are always a tough sell, and the controversy surrounding Harry Potter could be a problem. Despite these potential issues, HBO has remained publicly optimistic about the upcoming HBO Harry Potter TV show. Expected to premiere in 2027, HBO's Harry Potter will cover each book with its own season, allowing for a deeper dive into the story than Warner Brothers' original movies had time for. This has allowed HBO to promise a book-faithful adaptation, something that the new Harry Potter stars and creatives have continued to emphasize. Yeah, you'll notice whenever they do an interview with one of the actors that's going to be in the new HBO series, or, you know, whether it's a video interview or whether it's just quotes from an internet podcast, they always slip into the interview somewhere, or if there's new information about the show, you'll find that somewhere in the article or the interview, there's always that kind of premise that it's a faithful adaptation to the books. They always slip that in there because it's their marketing spiel and it's what they're using to upsell this HBO series. So, you know, if they end up not doing a faithful adaptation, there's going to be a lot of people very disappointed and very mad about it. So, like it says here, it could be their biggest weakness ultimately, but we'll have to see how that pans out. So, Harry Potter TV show stars and creatives continue to promise book-faithful adaptation. So, from the very first announcement of the Harry Potter TV show, prospective viewers have been promised an adaptation completely free of the frustrating omissions and changes of the movies. Recently, the promise was further supported by Warwick Davis. We did do a video based on what Warwick Davis had to say. Obviously, he's coming back. He was one of the original actors in the actual movie that's coming back to be in the HBO series. He's the only actor to span from the movies into the new HBO series, and I'm excited for him. And his son, I believe I read correctly, his son is playing his stunt double in this TV show, which is actually really cool. Father and son playing the same character with his son being the stunt double. That is a pretty cool piece of trivia as well. So, recently this promise was further supported by Warwick Davis, who originally played Professor Flitwick in the Harry Potter films and returning to the role in the TV remake. The actor stated that he is currently working on the project, explaining that we're retelling those wonderful stories, but with more depth and detail than ever seen before. They're very faithful adaptations of the book. So, Davis is no stranger to great fantasy projects and book adaptations, so his promise is certainly encouraging. However, this repeated emphasis of book faithfulness comes with a bit of dark shadow. There's a reason that the movies and TV shows tend to change so much from the books they are based on. It's rather difficult to bring the nuance from the page to the screen. HBO may be setting itself up for failure by repeatedly promising something it can't fully deliver on. I've said this so many times on the channel, guys, and I'm sure you've seen me say this as well. When you're translating a graphic novel, a book, whatever it may be, from a page to a live action adaptation, whether it's a book or a graphic novel, into a TV show or a movie, it's a completely different medium. It's a different way of telling art. Writing down a story and reading it and consuming it that way is completely different from sitting in front of a screen and watching live actors portray it. That's why whenever they do an adaptation of a book into a movie, they change parts, because what sometimes works in a book or a reading format doesn't always translate to the live action format. So there's certain things you have to change in order for it to make sense, logical sense in a live adaptation. So I do expect there are going to be some things from the book that will be changed because it's a TV show. Some things that work on the page aren't going to work in a live action scene. So you need to change certain things that characters say, certain action scenes that play out, certain dramatic nuances are going to be changed ever so slightly to adapt it from a written format into a live action format. And that's just the way it has to be done. I mean, anybody with any kind of brain cell would know that that's kind of how it's going to be done, because like I say, sometimes you just can't translate written material one for one onto a live action format and make it work. Sometimes it's just impossible. So you do have to change things ever so slightly. Okay, HBO Harry Potter can't afford to oversell itself. So, from the perspective of actors, writers, and the HBO executives, the Harry Potter TV show is surely and genuinely a very faithful adaptation. However, this promise means audiences will be expecting absolute perfection. Anything short of this, and let's face it, that's inevitable, will lead to further backlash. Add this to the controversies involving author J.K. Rowling and the more outrageous criticisms regarding the Harry Potter TV show's casting, we all know who they're talking about there, and things that might not turn out great for the upcoming project. So, said and done, viewers generally want a more book-faithful adaptation than the Harry Potter movies could provide. We're excited about the prospect. HBO's promise that this is precisely what we will get is undoubtedly a strength that will help audiences tune in for the first season. However, if the Harry Potter show doesn't deliver at 100%, these promises will become its long-term weakness. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? Is it overselling itself with this constant re-emphasis of it being a faithful adaptation? Is it something they can actually realistically deliver? Because, again, you're translating a written medium to a live action medium. Is it something they can deliver to be 100% accurate? I very much doubt it. But guys, that's an interesting question that I want to leave you with on this video segment here. So, knowing that the translation is going to be difficult from the written page to the live action medium, you know, how faithful do you need this series to be in order to not be disappointed? Do you need a one-for-one translation with everything being 100% accurate? Is 90% accuracy okay? 95% accuracy? You know, where do you draw the line between it being book accurate and too much being changed or not adapted? That fine line, I mean, where is it? And what are fans going to accept as being changed? And what are fans going to accept as having to be the same in the books as the TV show? I would wonder where that fine line is going to be, and, you know, how much accuracy do they need in order to pull this show off? Is it 99%, 95%, 90% accuracy of the book? I mean, I would love to know what you guys think about that. So, you know, what percentage do you think they need to adapt perfectly in order for this show to be successful? Or do they just need 100% accuracy across the entire series to the book? You know, whatever you think about that, guys, leave your comments in the live chat or the comments below. Would love to hear what you have to say. So, guys, with that down, that's kind of the question that I leave you off with from that segment. Like I said at the end of it, you know, how much do you accept being changed? I mean, they're saying it's a faithful adaptation of the book, right? But like I say, certain parts will have to be changed. But I mean, how much do we accept? They shouldn't promise 100% because it will never be 100%. That's exactly right. Kimmy said it. She hit the nail right on the head right there. There's no way they're going to get 100%. Remember the blue eye, green eye discussion when the movies came out? This was a joke compared to what will come. I have my popcorn ready. Yeah, you know that meme of Michael Jackson sitting there eating his popcorn. But, yeah. So, when I do reviews or breakdown of these episodes, there is going to be a portion of the breakdown that I do where I'm going to talk about the accuracy of the episode to the book itself. So, I'm going to be completely honest. When I do my breakdown of the episodes, I will say this scene, there's going to be a difference between whether the episode was good and then whether the episode was accurate. Because even if an episode, say for instance, we get to episode 4 and it doesn't represent the book, but the episode is still good, that's two different types of discussions right there. So the one discussion, was the episode good? That's a yes or a no. But then the other discussion we need to have, even though the episode was good or bad, did it accurately represent the book? So that's two major different discussions there that we need to be having. Do you see what I mean, guys? So I'm going to try my best to talk about the episode in terms of it being good and then in terms of it being accurate as well. So it's kind of like two different discussions we need to have. I would love to water those sort of vids. What? Rusty says, oh, I would love to... Okay, Rusty, that makes a lot more sense. I would love to water those kind of vids. Please don't pour water on my videos. That wouldn't work out well. Watch the videos. Yeah, I get what you mean. Kimmy says the first two films were the most book accurate, so will their seasons differ too much from them? Who knows? I mean, I really don't know. It's going to be filmed in a completely different way. I would imagine the cinematography is going to be different. The layout of Hogwarts is going to be different. The color palette, the color grading on the actual show, the costumes, the robes are going to look a bit different. We'll have to wait and see how that works out. Okay. Erica says, yeah, but I am drawn to the series because I would love to see all the stuff they missed in the movies. Yeah, the stuff they missed from the movies will be in the series. I have no doubt about that. But it's just like, how accurate are people willing to accept? That's kind of an important conversation there. Would you be happy if it's 75% accurate to the book and then there's some stuff that's a little bit different? Would you be happy if it was 50% accurate, 90% accurate? Everyone's going to have their own kind of line to draw as to how accurate they want this series to be. Personally, for me, as long as it's like 90% accurate, then I'm happy. If there's that 10% wiggle room where things are a little bit different, then I don't care all that much. Because like I say, translating from a written to a live action medium is a difficult thing. So if things have to be changed ever so slightly, as long as the core elements are there that are in the books and the major points that were left out of the movie are then put into the series, there can be that little bit of wiggle room, maybe 5 or 10% wiggle room. That's what I would say. Space is Fake says, I have no idea how they will do the music. How can it be changed? But also, how can it stay the same? Yeah, Space is Fake. That's something we've been talking about on the channel now for quite a few months. Are they going to use the original Harry Potter theme tune? But are they going to tweak it? Are they going to kind of add extra notes or kind of just remix it, so to speak? Because that Harry Potter theme tune music, right, is so iconic to the franchise. As soon as you hear it, it transports you straight away back to Hogwarts and back to the Wizarding World. So I cannot see them trying to replace that music. It would be an impossible task to replace that music theme. So I think they'll keep it, but I think they'll remix it ever so slightly, like an updated kind of remixed version where it sounds mostly the same, but there's a little bit of tweaks to some of the notes in there. I think that's ultimately what they're probably going to do. Okay, let's go back to the game here. Do they have the rights to the music? What do you mean, Kimmy? Does who have rights to the music? They kind of did it in Hogwarts Legacy. Like, you could hear the icon music, but then they did a little bit of a tweak in it. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Erica. That's probably what they'll do. They'll probably just tweak it, like make it sound a little bit different. But they'll make it sound so you know what it is, and then they'll tweak it so it kind of has that kind of modern kind of different kind of take on it. I think that's ultimately what they do. HBO, are they allowed to use the music? Of course they are. Why wouldn't they be? HBO is run by Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers have the exclusive licensing for Harry Potter. HBO and Warner Brothers, they're in charge of the Harry Potter franchise. They have all the rights to everything. You do know that, Kimmy. Like, it's okay. I understand there's a lot of confusion around who owns the rights to what. So I do understand you using the question. I do understand you asking the question. Yeah, like HBO, at the moment, HBO, Warner Brothers, they have the rights to everything. No, no, no. I'm not saying you're stupid, Kimmy. I wasn't saying that at all. Everybody has different understandings of like the movie industry and how the rights work. I'm not calling you stupid by any means. I'm really, really not. Obviously for me, someone who's I'm always into the entertainment industry and researching news and stuff all the time. Basically, Warner Brothers and HBO, they own pretty much everything to Harry Potter. Obviously, J.K. Rowling holds the master rights to the franchise. But HBO, Warner Brothers, they have like exclusive licenses to everything to do with Harry Potter. So that would be the music, the video games, you know, the movies, the Fantastic Beasts, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, of course, they can use the music. But when Netflix takes over, then Netflix will acquire all those rights from Warner Brothers. Well, they'll be merged with Warner Brothers, I guess. So they'll acquire all the rights under Netflix at that point. I wish JK would write more Harry Potter when she's grown up, and now Ron's the new Hagrid. Hermione is the Prime Minister. That's okay, Kimmy. No worries. It's hard to tell sometimes. That, you know, when you're reading a message, you don't know the context of the message. So, you know, I was just trying to say I wasn't calling you dumb. I wasn't trying to insinuate that. Everyone has different understandings of different things. So. I wasn't calling you dumb. Don't worry. I wouldn't do that. Okay, I need to turn the volume back on for the game. There we go.
Lumos.
But yeah, another thing that I was also talking about, right? So we were talking about the music being changed for the series, but also all of the artwork that's on the Harry Potter merchandising. As soon as the new series comes out, do you think they'll switch all of the artwork on all of the merchandise to the new Harry Potter characters, like the new actors? So instead of seeing Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint, you know, on the Lego sets, do you think we'll start seeing the new trio on all of the Lego sets and all of the merchandise as soon as the new series comes out? Or will they start changing the merchandising before the series comes out, after the series comes out? It's going to be interesting how they make that transition with, you know, with the merchandising.
Fringo. Hang on out there. Incendio. Bombarda.
I shall avenge your death.
Oh God.
Protego.
Taste goblin silver.
Fringo.
Someone stop me.
Incendio. Bombarda.
Okay, keep going. Yep.
Fringo.
Easily diverted.
Oh God, it's not going well.
Not quite.
Incendio. Bombarda.
Oh, that was meant for me.
Whoa!
I've been fighting since before you were born.
Okay, I'm gonna have to. Let's grab.
Fringo.
Got it. All the movie merch will become collector's items, no longer made for the market, but still out there to find. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? In years to come, when they stop selling merchandising with Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson on it, it's going to be harder and harder to find that stuff, because when they discontinue the merch with the movie version of the characters on the merch, over the years, as it's harder to get, it's going to become more valuable, because it's going to be harder to find. I don't think I've got anything. No, I haven't got anything with the characters. Actually, yes, I have. 1 second. I've got a puzzle here for 6 years and older. Because that's how simple-minded I am. I have a 6-year-old puzzle. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing that's going to be curious as to when they make the transition with the merchandise.
Lumos.
Oh, we got a chest. Unforgivable 2. Okay. We got to find the entrance to the mine. Okay, guys, we've been going for about an hour and 10 minutes now. So, we'll go for another 5 minutes or so, and then we'll end off the stream. It's been a great stream, though. It's great to have you guys here, as always.
Fringo. Places. Bombarda.
Ooh, smashed him. Mongol fur. I still have a collection of old Harry Potter cards. Harry Potter trading cards. Nice. If they're rare, they could be worth some money. Who knows?
Lumos.
I still have my old Pokemon cards from 1997. I have the original Pokemon cards from 1997 when I got them out of trading card packs when I was at school. I have no idea if they're worth money or not.
Lumos.
Okay, everything is quiet. It's a bit too quiet for my liking.
This is a waste of my talent.
Oh, there's a whole load of guys up here.
Fringo. Glacius. Bombarda.
Kill spells glance
Oh
off.
god, there's a whole load of them.
Bombarda.
I will make you pay.
I'm sure you will.
Glacius.
I won't rest
Oh,
until you're dead.
Fringo.
another guy up here. He fell off. Nice one.
Fringo.
Think you're clever, don't you?
Bombarda.
Nice. Do not visit caves. Why not? Why not, Erica? What's in the cave? Do you know what's in there?
Lumos.
Oh god, there's a huge troll over there. I think I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save that for the next stream, I think. Yeah, because that's gonna be a crazy one. Definitely gonna save that for the next stream. Cave spiders. Yeah, cave spiders. We don't want any more of those spiders. Not for now, anyway. I'm still recovering from last night. But, yeah, guys, I think it's been a great stream. Thank you for everyone being here. I think it's a good place to finish off. We've been going for an hour and 13 minutes now. So it's great to have you all here as usual. Let me just mute the game quickly. Yeah, it's been a fantastic stream, guys, as always. It's just really great that you guys are always here. Don, he didn't see the joke. Rusty says, don't worry, Rumble, we can invent a way to water all of Wizard Rest videos to grow some more. I did see it. That was a good one. I like that. My video's just growing on trees as you water the plants. I'm not even sure how that would work. Yeah, I kind of like that. So guys, I think that'll be it for tonight. Thank you so much for everyone being here, chilling out, having a fun time. It's great to see all the regulars here. It's great to see a couple of new people as well. Thanks so much for joining in. I hope you guys enjoyed the news topics that we covered. You know, talking about the weaknesses in the campaign for the advertising if they don't stick to the book accurate version of the series, which they're campaigning for. Looking at that live orchestra of the Harry Potter films as well. I think that's going to be all kinds of fun. And then obviously talking about kind of the absurdities and the logic holes in Hogwarts when you kind of think about it. But there's so many more of those kind of things that don't make sense in the Wizarding world. It's actually a really fun discussion to have because you can talk about, you know, you can talk about Star Wars, you can talk about superhero films, you can talk about pretty much any film and any type of universe. Any universe. And if you think about it, there's like plot holes and logic holes all over the place, and it's kind of fun to dive into. So it's always fun to talk about. But yeah, it's been great, guys. Thank you so much. The next stream is going to be on Friday. We've got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday streams coming up. So make sure you do come back Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 7 till 8 p.m. once again, guys. It's just cool. If you want to hang out for the whole session, that's great. If you just want to pop in for 5 minutes, that's okay as well. No matter how much time you have to spend, guys, I always appreciate you taking time out of your day to be here, to chill out. And it's nice to see you as always. Thanks so much, guys. Love you all. And I will see you in the very next video.